Kabam ask for your feedback on the Cavalier difficulty. The beta is broken. Incursions is back, baby. And Joe Fixit is in the Incursions crystal. Oh, hell no. I'm going to have to grab this. I'm going to shield myself from that particular pull. And by that, I mean welcome to the Marvel Contest of Champions news for Wednesday. If you do want to check out any of the stories we're going to mention, go to the description or the pinned comment. Or there could be some time code things or bars you click down here. To be honest, it just looks like I'm wafting away a fart. Whew, bloody hell. Let's just do the thank you, shall we? And yes, thank yous indeed to those that come back to each and every video, hitting the like button, commenting, and as well just supporting the channel. If I'm doing MCOC content, if I'm doing non-MCOC content over on Twitch, those that hit the like button on vids, those that subscribe with post notifications on all, I thank you all for the support and allowing me to do this, so thank you. Also, I can't forget those that support through the monetary means of YouTube membership and Patreon. Thank you, those people are on screen at the moment. I do plan to do a YouTube stream soon, just depends on scheduling. And thank you to those that support on Twitch. We had a great stream last night. First of all, did a load of Uncollected, and then we did some Fall Guys. It was really good stuff, and as well, amazing support from people on the subs, new subs as well, so thank you very much. We're over 1,000 followers. I'm kind of pushing towards 1,200 followers. So thank you to everybody, and keep up the love and support, and see you in tonight's stream. But now let's get into the news. So firstly, the Omega Quest, the Epic difficulty, was something of a problem last week when the selector wasn't actually there as something you could grab. Only I think it was a 10% tier 5 class Catalyst Fragment Crystal. Breathe when trying to announce some of these crystal names. But it seems that the post or the thread which started up last week has now been deleted. So whether or not this means that people have got their compensation, as somebody that has waited to do content prior to going into the Epic Quest, I would assume that people have got it. If you've not got it, please let me know in the comment section or on the Discord. But I would believe if Kabam took this down, it might mean that the correct rewards have been given out to players. But that would be interesting to find out either yes or even no. In other news, and if you want to find out the targets on screen at the moment, there are some examples of Avengers that you can look to take down to get your target done. There's 7 things that have to be done rather than the usual, I think it's 3. You've got to defeat 7 Avengers. There's a lot of Avengers about, and to be honest, you can just do an arena grind or any questing and find yourself smashing out that objective. But for those that are like, I want to get into my locker now, I need to get back into Mutant Treasure Island, this is what you've got to do and who you've got to defeat. There's an easy fight with Scarlet Witch called 200, so go and do 200. Also, Incursions is back, baby, and it is spicier than ever. Well, it's kind of spicy. I would say from the store side of things, it's not as spicy as you might think. We'll have a look at that in a moment. But from a top zone rewards perspective, if you're able to get 10 zones, then you're able to get some good amount of things, especially from a Sector 8. I suppose in some ways it's debatable as to values of these kind of things, as some players may go, well, that's not enough 6-star shards, that's not enough 5-star shards. But definitely with the gold side of things, I'm relatively impressed. Not overly impressed, but relatively impressed. Unfortunately, it does mean that if you have certain amounts of champions, it will force you into maybe what you would feel the incorrect sector, which I do agree with. You may feel like, hey, I'm only Sector 6, and now I've got to do Sector 7. What's the dealio with that? Now, over in the store, you can get 2,000 6-star shards for 32,000 dark artifacts. Easier said than done, especially with the volume of the rewards that you're able to pick up from the Incursions versus when you're able to spend this. And I'm not saying that we should then reduce down these particular crystals like the 5-star various death crystals, war crystal, etc. But with the inclusion of stuff like the dual class crystal, the idea of going, hey, well, maybe we should retool the cost of things would be an advisable step from Kabam. So yeah, where do players lie on this thought process of Incursion store? The crystals that are here, and as well 6-star shards and the cost of 32,000. But on Friday, myself and Dan of Frontline MCOC, my co-host of the Contest Run podcast, will be live streaming a Sector 8 run, and hopefully I'll have a rank 5 Scarlet Witch to bring into the battle. So make sure you're following me at Mr. RichTheMan on Twitter. And at Frontline MCOC on Twitter also when we go live for this Incursions run on Friday. But sticking with Incursions, and ooh, the audacity. So you must have seen this in your inbox, and it was old favourites are included in Incursions crystals. Yes, believe it or not, we are now getting a Joe Fixit, a Daredevil classic, but a Gamora as a 5-star. That's impressive. Gamora, I'll take that lady. She is fantastic. She's a great champion. Got us a 6-star. Very, very fun. Very, very nice. Very, very spicy. But yeah, I saw a few people kind of like, I don't know if this was made as a joke about these. And it's nice to collect these champions that weren't currently added. I want to say that Mag's white version, which is House of X version, is not in the 5-star pool yet. So I think that would have been a great introduction. But yeah. Very weird that this forum post has been closed. Like Command Mika going, man, you really hate these champions. One thread is enough. So I don't know if one thread has already been created. Weird. It's a very weird situation to have this closed down. Yeah, I couldn't find the other post, but this one was definitely quite a funny one, especially as it got closed down for what seemed to be weird reasons, but weirder reasons have been closing down posts. But what are your thoughts on this? Put it in the comment section down below. For me, looking at this, if it was a year ago, I'd be pretty disappointed of these being added in, except for Gamora. I think that may come in line with when she was buffed up. But the point is that now I'm feeling very different about this. Very different, as Kabam have said, they are going to push 2 buffs a month. Now, will this be a case next year you'll see buffs to Joe Fixit, or even Daredevil Netflix, or even the classic version as in the crystal here? Maybe. So if you do get these champion once and they get buffed and you like have the 5-star version or have the 6-star version, then they may be more fun, more usable, or more interesting when it comes to taking on various different content. So I don't know, I don't think I could be too hasty about this. And as well with the idea of, okay, the collecting aspect. Well, there's a lot of champions I need to shoot for in order to progress further with different things with Act 6. So I'm like, right, well, I'll kind of hold off and maybe I'll go for other things. But I don't think we can completely write this off if next year these champions are going to be made to be the next god tiers. But we'll have to see. Next up, and the beta is broken. Well, for some, not for others. For some, they're unable to access just from the point of being able to log in. For others, they can't see any of their champions in order to test out any of the features currently put in or any of the grind that is applicable to do in the Book 2 Act 1 Chapter 1 beta. And I think others have just given up the fight with trying to actually get into it. As Kabam Zibit says here, he says, hey there, the team is aware of these issues and is investigating them at the moment to work on getting them resolved. It seems that other players are still struggling to get in and just problems all the time. I don't know if that means that there's going to be restrictions as to the amount and volume that can access in a given time, but it seems to be something of an ongoing frustration for players this morning that do want to see where the game is going. So yeah, hopefully this is resolved, and hopefully there's more info on this in the coming hours and also day. Next up, and on to Cavalier difficulty event quest feedback. Yes, Kabam Frenchie has taken to Twitter, and I believe there's something running on the forums and as well on Reddit when it comes to feedback on the Cavalier difficulty. And to be brutally honest, I didn't think that it would tick a lot of boxes when it first got put in, especially with how it's being felt amongst the contest. At the moment, there are people that do like it in its current state. There's those that look at the time grind to the reward situation, and there's others that aren't able to even do it based on the level of difficulty that it indeed has. From those at different spectrums of the game. A full deep dive will be on the podcast this weekend, where we're going to look at as many different perspectives on the matter, which this feedback here is also all about. There's lots of feedback from various people within the community with different perspectives and different levels of progression, which I think it is indeed brilliant to see that. Kabam Frenchie does as well respond back and give perspectives on what he sees his end against other people as well. Although, by the way, I would love the idea of Nexus shards. That would be amazing. Also, shout out to Dan for sending this through to me, which just looks at the way that completion rewards work, and I thought it was a very interesting read. Everyone seems angry about the completion rewards, but I never had the chance to explain why we did it that way. Data showed us that a lot of progressing players cannot complete the whole uncollated difficulty, but exploring Chapter 1 is easier than completing Chapter 2. Same with Chapter 2 and Chapter 3, so yes, it might be a bit more time consuming as you have to complete more paths, but overall, if you are not reluctant to play a bit more at equal skill, you should get more rewards. Now here's the thing, I understand what Kabam are trying to do with this, but at the same time, it does take away the idea of self-accomplishment from being able to complete something like an uncollected. Yes, it is rooted down in the lower chapters for the rewards, but at the same time, it just feels like somebody is going, well, I guess I can't really do the 100%ing of uncollected because maybe I'm a casual player. Maybe my situation is different to somebody else with a stonkingly good roster. So one would be able to blitz through it, the other person maybe not so. Maybe they're still using 4 stars against this content. There are fundamentals that, in comparison, I just don't know if it would have been fine just to go, let's leave it the way it was. Was it doing any harm? In Kabam's eyes, yes, they wanted to encourage more of a progressive nature to it, but yeah, just Kabam at the end of the day. Maybe worth looking into changing it back, but that is something for Kabam to consider. Now on to a follow-up story from Monday. If you remember the Russian hack story that we talked about, well, there is a video now on YouTube and as well on Twitter of this in action. This was posted by DT Melodic Metal. Go and check it out, links in the description. It doesn't really give anything away, except for maybe who is behind this. It's only Alvin and the bloody Chipmunks. I knew you MCOC cheating rat bastards were behind it all along. The only thing to really update you with this story is that it is being dealt with. Whatever that means, moving on to the next story. And yes, our next story is our final story, and that is arena predictions. My predictions are as follows down below. To read them out, they are 95 mil for the 5-star version of Professor X. Even though that seems ridiculously high, I just feel that with this champion's hype, as well, the way that the champion was just quite good in testing. It was very, very fun, easy to pick up and understand. Yeah, 95 mil seems apt. The 4-star version, I'm going with 13 mil for. I think 13.5 to be safe, but 13 mil should be fine. And as well, 1.6 mil for the basic. Oh, and the 3-star of Professor X, I'm going with 1.55 mil. But all predictions are down below at the moment for you to check out. Yeah, good luck to anybody. You know, God be with you and all that stuff, because it's going to be a tough one. And that's been Marvel Contest of Champions news for Wednesday. Check out some recent content up there, and also some other stuff down there. Thank you very much for the support, and I'll see you later on for another video, possibly. Bye-bye.